Today I visited Farm Street Church, or to give it its real name, the Church of the Immaculate Conception, a Jesuit church tucked just away in Mayfair that looks modest from the outside but absolutely erupts once you step in. Built in 1849, it's Gothic Revival at full volume. Hugin's carved stone sanctuary, Hardman metalwork, and a high altar that feels like it's been lifted straight out of a medieval dream. At this point, it was a real sensory overload. Colour, stone, metalwork, all competing for your attention in the best possible way. Now, everything on the right-hand side of the nave are all chapels. The first chapel on the right is the Agony Chapel, a quiet devotional space that sets the tone for how many chapels this church really actually hides. And as you move through, there's three more side chapels in a row: St. Francis Xavier, St. Joseph, and St. Aloysius, each with its own character and its own set of statues and altars. These little chapels lead you straight towards one of the three major spaces on the side, the Sacred Heart Chapel. Now, the Sacred Heart Chapel was added in the 1870s, and it's one of the richest corners of the church. There's an incredible amount of marble in here. Walls, floors, altars, all glowing under the light and giving the whole space this warm devotional shimmer. And above the altar you've got these beautifully carved angels, leaning in with that Victorian mix of drama and tenderness, almost as if they're guarding the devotional at the heart of the chapel. The Jesuits have always had a strong devotion to the Sacred Heart, and you can feel that here in every single detail. Now, as you walk in the front door, everything on the left-hand side of the nave are altars, and the first thing you meet is this one. It's the Calvary Chapel, sitting diagonally across from the nave of the Sacred Heart Chapel, so in the direct opposite. A dramatic, emotional space centered on Christ's crucifixion. It's a strong counterbalance to the warmth and devotion of the Sacred Heart, almost like the church is holding both sorrow and hope in tension. Then you move through the rest of the left-hand altars. The altar of the English martyrs, the altar of Our Lady of Sorrows. The next one is the altar dedicated to St. Stanislas, and the final one is dedicated to St. Thomas the Apostle, and finally Our Lady of the Sorrows. And again, the altars on the left-hand side here all lead you up to another major chapel. Again, this one to the left of the altar. And here it is. It's the Chapel of St. Ignatius, founder of the Jesuits. It's full of Ignatian symbolism and bronze Gothic detail, and it's one of the most atmospheric spaces in the whole church. St. Ignatius is actually my confirmation name, so this chapel felt like a little bit of a personal stop for me. And then in between the Chapel of St. Ignatius and the Chapel of the Sacred Heart is the main altar, the main sanctuary. And this is where Farm Street really shows its pedigree. Hugin designed the original high altar in carved stone, with Old Testament sacrifices carved across the front. Abel, Melchizedek, Abraham, and verses from Revelation running throughout the reredos. The new altar, added in 2019, is carved from Carrara marble with a frieze of grapes as a nod to the Eucharist. This whole area sums up the Jesuit approach: beauty, symbolism, and a sense that everything here is meant to lift your mind upwards. If you pause here for a moment, you start to notice the smaller things: the light on the stone, the quiet movement in the chapels, and those little details you miss on a quick walk through. Even the pulpit has that same Gothic confidence, carved, pointed, and just elevated enough to give a Jesuit sermon a bit of presence. Before leaving, it's worth slowing down for the detail. The memorials tucked into the walls, the organ high above the nave, and the ceiling with its deep colours and carved beams. One memorial that really caught my eye was the tablet to Henry de Courcy Ward, a fleet paymaster on HMS Suffolk, killed when his ship was sunk by a submarine in the North Sea in 1916. His wife placed it here as a tribute, and it's one of those plaques that suddenly pulls you out of the architecture and into someone's real story. And honestly, I simply couldn't fit everything into a 5-minute video. I've hardly touched on the stained glass, the organ, the incredible stonework, the carving running along the upper walls. There's so much happening here. that you almost need a second visit just to take it all in. Farm Street might sit quietly in the Mayfair back street, but step inside and it becomes something far bigger, a place layered with a devotional history and craftsmanship. It's absolutely been my favourite so far. There's just something about this way this place holds its history in its quiet moments that stays with you. Even as you step back out into Mayfair, a little bit of Farm Street comes with you. Thank you so much for watching the Pew Review. If you enjoy watching videos about the old churches of London and the UK, then follow along for more.